shit, that was cool. Laptop slid off the corner and I caught it. I think the camera saw it. I'm all over the place today, man. Let me tell you.
1 to 10, how do you feel?
Is one good or bad?
1 being good.
Probably like a 8.5. Probably 8.
No, you had what? 5 days in a row?
I don't
worked
know.
5 days in a row or something? You worked
We're working
45,
towards
46 hours this last week and then another 10 today, dude.
We're
Grinding away.
Yeah.
Working towards that minivan to travel the country, right?
Yep. A mini.
All right, a belated what's up, everybody. Super Bowl yesterday, a recap episode of the game of the season, and a little bit of a look ahead into the offseason. I guess we start with, I was pissed you had to work. I was mad. I was mad Saturday night when I knew you had to work. So you missed the beginning of the game, but you saw most of it. We watched our recap. We've now had almost about 24 hours of taking in all the moments and everything. So I wanted to quickly kind of just recap it, and you can chime in, like I said, whenever you want. But just to give everyone a refresher, because especially the Super Bowl, it's so magnified. So many little plays have such a big impact on the game that I think it's really easy and quick when one holding call at the end on Cooper Kupp looks like, oh, that cost them the game. It's like, oh, well, there's a pass interference on your biggest play of the game. So I don't know what you're talking about. So let's start from the beginning. Cincinnati wins the coin toss, defers to the second half, which I only say because that is now 8 straight times that the winner of the coin toss has lost the game. That's kind of one of the most unbelievable stats I've ever heard because it's so dumb luck. And the fact that 8 in a row, that's kind of wild.
Have they all deferred?
I don't know if they've all deferred, but I feel like that's such. I feel like everybody defers now. So
Especially in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Too,
you always
want the ball in the second half.
Right. So to start off the game, the Rams punt. The Bengals immediately on their first possession baffle me. We were in the first quarter, probably 11 minutes in the game. 3rd and 1 at the midfield. This is actually a nice foreshadowing moment when looking back on it to later in the game. But on 3rd and 1 at midfield, they shotgun handoff to Samaje Perine. And he gets absolutely stuffed. Of course he does, because he's the 8th best offensive player on the team. So now 4th and 1. First quarter, probably punt, right? Play field position. Nope, we're going to go for it, and we're going to throw it incomplete to Jamar Chase. It was actually, if you look at the play, a really good play by Ernest Jones, one of their linebackers, who, if you would ask me who Ernest Jones was, I couldn't have told you before yesterday. But he read Burrow like a book. I mean, Ramsey was already on Jamar in the slot, but he could tell within almost an instant. He turns there. It's a quick pass because the pressure's going to get there, and he breaks it up. Really good play. Total momentum shift early, the quickest momentum shift to the Rams. And Stafford on 3rd and 3 from the 17-yard line hits Odell, our boy, who you predicted, I think on one of your prop bets, didn't you have Odell as the first-time touchdown?
Yeah.
Odell for first touchdown, 8 to 1. Yeah, that would have won you $1,600. You would have just made your money and then some right there off the first bet. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Wish we would have done it.
That was a great catch, too. That was an awesome catch.
Yeah.
So the Rams up 7-0 quickly. Burrow misses Perine on kind of a wheel route on the next possession after I think they get 1 first down, and they punt again. Then the Rams punt, and the first big play of the game to Jamar sets them up inside the 20. I was kind of doing some stuff, and we were drinking and everything, so a little discombobulated. Didn't necessarily see every single play and every single replay. Saw the catch and kind of saw the replay, but it wasn't until I was looking at the replay closely today that he completely one-handed it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. That was unbelievable. He didn't end up doing much for the rest of the game, 2 or 3 other catches, but that was a big play. But it sets them up inside the 20, and they don't get another yard. So that's the first. That when I'm looking back, like, you need your red zone conversions, especially in the Super Bowl. 7-3, another big play, 35 yards to Odell on the next drive. Odell's off to a hot start now. We're like, holy shit, this is the Odell game. Followed by another 25 yards on a beautiful bootleg wheel route to Darrell Henderson down the sideline. And if we look at, I think they end up getting, oh no, it wasn't a field goal. 2 plays later, Stafford to Cooper Kupp, and yeah. Cooper Kupp scores his first touchdown. Now it's 13-3, and it's looking kind of debatable, but this is funny. They botched that extra point, right? What was the final score? They won by 3.
Yeah.
What was the spread? 4. So many Rams bettors just got screwed over by that botched PAT. If there was ever a way to fix a game, that's how you do it with the botched PAT. It doesn't look very obvious. So then the Bengals finally get Jamar and T. Higgins on a couple chunk plays, attacking the middle of the field, attacking those linebackers, staying away from Jalen Ramsey. Mixon gets a big run. They pick up another first down, and on 2nd and goal from the 5, we get a halfback toss to Joe Mixon, and they give their own little Cincinnati special. That would have been the coin term, I think, if they would have won the game.
I was just thinking that today, too, yeah.
And hits T. Higgins in the back of the end zone, and now it's 13-10 Rams, and we got ourselves a ball game now. And this is the big momentum shift. You have that obviously you can imagine the sideline after that play. And then the next drive, Stafford throws behind Odell, fluke, non-contact.
Yeah.
And I think I read this morning they're pretty sure it's a torn ACL.
Yeah, I think so.
A quick OBJ tangent. He first touchdown, looked like he was on pace for a big day.
Oh, yeah.
Had a big playoffs, had a big second half of the season. How do you think an ACL injury, the second one, I think it's the same knee too.
Yeah.
What do you think that does come off season time? Because it kind of looked like he was in line for a bag.
I think I read somewhere today from some report that he's willing to give the Rams a pretty big discount.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. This always seems like the no-brainer to me. Do a cheap-ish 1-year contract, stay healthy, get a bag at the end of next season, Yeah. And also, can the Rams really be giving bags out anymore?
No, I wouldn't imagine so.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
But maybe being in LA gives him all of his endorsement opportunities, maybe a lot more money he would be able to make somewhere else. I don't know. And it seems like he does love that team, and especially after going through all of that. Just a little tangent. I think it's interesting. That'll be a good offseason storyline. Now, 3rd and 14 from the 43, I have the next time the Rams have, it's actually still on that drive. Stafford underthrows, he throws a prayer to the end zone. And not only if you're going to make that throw, it's got to be one of those throws where they say you give your guy a chance to get it, and that's the only chance that you need. Underthrows it. Arguably overthrow it, and maybe trying to overthrow it, you underthrow it, and he has a chance for a miracle play regardless. Underthrows it bad and gets picked.
Yeah, Jesse Bates is going to be all over that.
Yeah, that was the first of a few. He played good. He had his 3 touchdowns. We were thinking maybe they give him the MVP, but he definitely had 5 or 6 throws, especially looking back and watching it over again. A 3rd and 4 later on in the game that I'd mentioned, he overthrows a guy. He had the other pick, which wasn't really his fault, but not the best Matthew Stafford that we saw today.
Found a way to get it done, though, when it mattered.
True.
So
on that last drive of the game, which we'll have coming up.
If it's ugly, doesn't matter as long as you're still in it, and that last drive you make every throw you need to make and force feed your guy, then you did your job.
For sure. And
really
it got
ugly.
A lot harder after Odell went down. He had Cooper Kupp and then a lot of nobodies. Probably the best halftime show of our lifetime, other than Katy Perry.
Yeah, it's like a top 3, top 5.
No, that was cool.
That was
really good. And then first play, T. Higgins, 75 yards. The first time in history that somebody scored on the first play out of half.
I thought there was a kick return out of halftime. It was like Jacoby Jones.
You're right. First offensive play. So there was that.
First,
right.
Yeah.
But that was even crazier. Definitely a face mask on T.
Yeah.
Definitely a face mask.
Unless they were like really fucking jarring in the beginning or something.
Well, it's so obvious in the instant replay, but watching it, from the broadcast, it's so bang bang that because he almost pulls it like on his way up to catch it. So like if that ref, whoever it was looking at it, and I don't know if they were so far down, it was really just the sideline ref. The sideline ref is for sure not going to have a view of it.
Yeah.
It was super bang bang.
Game speed.
Yeah, and I was telling Alex today, he was bitching in our chat about the calls at the end of the game and how it cost the Bengals and all that stuff. And
holding, yeah.
Yeah. We just have to be accustomed that there's going to be bad calls in every game. I've seen the worst one of all time, and it's ruined. It's taken years off my life because of it.
Oh, yeah.
We just need to accept it. And that was a bad one, and we'll get to the other ones in a second here. The next play, literally the Rams' first play of the third quarter, Skowronek.
Oh, yeah,
one,
yeah.
Whoever,
18.
Yeah, whoever he is, however you say his name. Can't catch the ball, bounces right off. Cheeto Bay Awuzie picks it off. Shout out Cheeto, former Cowboy. And now all momentum all momentum on the Bengals. It's 17-13 after that touchdown. Now you got a pick. Now you're on a short field. If they can score a touchdown on this next drive and make it 24-13,
You're sitting pretty.
you're sitting pretty. Only get 3 out of it. So now it's 20-13 and they had another debatable fourth down. I think they ran it with Pirine again, and it was a 4th and 1 that they got. But then they just had to kick a field goal 3 plays later when they couldn't do anything. A 3rd and 5 on the Cincinnati 23. They tried their own Philly. The Rams do their own little Philly special, and Cooper Kupp overthrows Stafford, who shouldn't even be the target on any 3rd and 5 ever. And even though he was kind of open, if Cooper kind of hits it, and he was saying after the game, I could have just flicked it if I would just followed through, like I could have gotten him. But let's run something else. Let's run some type of pick play for Cooper or some.
Doesn't always have. We don't always have to have a Philly special in a.
No, and they didn't really try any trick plays or whatever, and it's not like they were going to run the ball. I mean, I think they had 21 carries for like 40 yards or something, or it was less than 2 yards a carry. They're the 4th or 5th team to have less than 2 yards per carry in the Super Bowl, and the first one to ever win it. So don't get that on 3rd and 5. Now they kick a field goal. It's 20-16 Bengals. Bengals go 3 and out, including another sack, and I have this noted as another sack because we're starting to notice Joe's getting pressured very much. Yeah. Keaton and I hit a nice little over on Rams total team sacks at 4.5. Hit the over on that by the time before even the 4th quarter came. I think they finished with 7.
It was 7. Yeah.
7, and that doesn't include, the other times he got hit. The Aaron Donald last play of the game. That was
all the pressures and hurries. And...
Yeah, he got knocked down. I think I saw he got sacked 70 times this season. The 3rd most for a QB ever in a season. The number 1 is Derek. No, not Derek. Who's the other one? David Carr. And that was the first year of an expansion team. So that team, of course, is going to be horrible. And he got just hit like another. And I think the other one is Randall Cunningham back in like the 80s or something. But that's a bigger storyline that we'll kind of get to.
That got overshadowed a lot. I feel like because they were so good and the offense was so explosive, but that doesn't get talked about a lot. I didn't even know it was that much. I figured he was getting hit a fair amount because they didn't really adjust the O-line.
And some of them are him. Some of them he'll learn. He'll learn, and he was already learning at the beginning of this game. He was getting the ball out quick, like knowing just find your read, hit your read, get the ball out, especially when it's a matchup that you're not. He was hearing the last week, 2 weeks, all the time, like. You got to get the ball out quick. But he likes to extend the plays, which is part of his magic because he extends plays and makes unbelievable things. It's finding that balance with a good offensive line so that you maybe only have to make that decision 2 or 3 times a game. So he's getting pressured a lot now. Rams go 3 and out. The Bengals get it back just to go 3 and out again with Burrow getting sacked again. But the Bengals D gets another stop. And then on the 36-yard line, their own 36, the Bengals on another 3rd and 9. Burrow gets sacked again. What's new? With an unsportsmanlike penalty on Isaiah Prince coming right after, and Burrow's knee gets mangled. It does not look good. I would not be shocked if we see the headline tomorrow or the day after that he has a sprained MCL and he played on it. But I saw he went to the sidelines. I don't know. He jogged. I don't know why he jogged. Just walk. But got to the sidelines. Didn't want to go in the tent. Told the medical personnel, get away from me. I don't even want to get looked at. I'm staying in this game.
Yeah, you have to.
I love him for that.
And the one
his
game
his headspace, his mentality, I absolutely love. Biggest winner out of the whole playoffs, not the Rams, Joe Burrow. Like he's you could argue the face of the league now for the time being. Tyler Boyd. This one is going to get overlooked. A huge drop on 3rd. Stafford overthrows. I mentioned that 3rd and 4 overthrows him, so the Bengals get the ball back. Tyler Boyd drops a huge ball on 3rd and 9. A huge ball that he would have been maybe a yard short, but he also maybe would have gotten it. And this is now at the start of that drive. They have to punt after he doesn't catch that ball. 3rd and 9. I think that was when Burrow got sacked or something. The Rams get it back with 6:20 left. If the Bengals could have gone at least taken chunks of time off the clock, let alone a scoring drive that gives you a multi-score lead, that would have been the drive you needed to put it away. And now the Rams get the ball back with 6:20 left, and you're giving it to Stafford to have his moment and have their drive. They get a 4th and 1 conversion on their own 30-yard line on a great play call.
Yeah, no one was expecting it.
No one was expecting it, although we were expecting, or at least hoping, that Cooper Kupp was going to be involved because you can't run the ball at all. If you're going to go down swing when you're with your best player. Did I think it was going to be a sweep, which normally irritates us because if it's 4th and 1, we just kind of usually think just go up the middle while you're going side to side, but he goes side, cuts up, gets like 10 yards. Just the start of the best drive for him to cap off the best receiving season of all time. But a great call. Gets another conversion on 3rd and 2. Gets another 20-yard pass to Cup over the middle. Just perfect on both ends. Did you see the slow-mo replay today of that pass?
Of which one?
The 20-yard pass to Cooper over the middle.
Oh, yeah.
And Stafford looking it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude. He's
just floated it right above him.
That was just beautiful. While looking, like, you could see Von Bell in the replay looking at his eyes and reading his eyes and moving as he's throwing it, and it just comes right right into Cooper's hand. Just fantastic. Cooper Kupp again for 8 yards. And then we get the best probably Cam Akers run of the day, which was only 8 yards to the 9-yard line. And on 3rd and goal, there's incomplete to Cooper Kupp coming across the middle, just short of the goal line, but a holding call that
very debatable.
We did not like in the moment, and neither did Chris and Al. You could tell on Logan Wilson, who is a really good linebacker.
That was a great play.
This whole playoffs, I barely had watched much of him specifically, knowing it was him making plays throughout the season. Played so good in the playoffs. Big fan of him.
Yeah.
And 2 plays later, Eli Apple, who's done all this talking with the Chiefs guys, and you saw them giving it back to him on Twitter last night after the game, is 1-on-1 with Cooper Kupp from the 1-yard line. And I don't even need to say anything else.
Do you not want, like, Jesse? I don't even know how good Jesse Bates is in coverage, but do you not want, like, him over?
Or Awuzie?
Yeah.
Something.
Anyone? It had to have been Eli Apple. Like, I just don't buy that. Like,
No.
that's...
If you would have told Cincinnati fans at the start of the game or last week that you're going to be winning and they're going to have the ball at the 1-yard line, what's the one person you're going to stop? And I guess I read today that play was designed for OBJ to be the guy on the outside and then the shimmy, because that's obviously an OBJ special. But you can't have Eli Apple out on the best receiver in the league, man. 1-on-1. It doesn't, honestly... other than maybe the 3 or 4 absolute elite corners, you shouldn't be having 1-on-1 with him in that position at all. Who do you think they're going to try to go to? So that was just bad. But now the Bengals get their chance. They get their chance again for the second time in the fourth quarter to have their drive. It's 1:30 left, and they have, I think, was it 2 timeouts, I think? And immediately go 20 yards to Jamar. So they're already to the 42-yard line. He goes 8 yards to Tyler Boyd after that. Now they're already at midfield. You could argue at midfield,
McPherson?
67 yards. I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw Bill Simmons. He was there at the game, and he said he saw McPherson warming up, and he was kicking 55-yarders in pregame, not only making every single one, but hitting like the back of the net that he had, which of course more pressure. There's maybe, but he said he was booting them. So when they get to midfield, you're kind of like, oh my gosh, they might already be in range. They get the 8 yards to Boyd, 2nd and 2 or whatever, 2nd and 1. It's a broken play to Jamar that he tries to hit him on. There's a miscommunication. Ball goes way past him downfield. And on 3rd and a long one, they again shotgun handoff to Samaje Perine. That's just I don't even know what to say. Don't do that once. Definitely don't do it twice. One of your biggest plays, the biggest play of the season at the time. Put Mixon in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Either run it with Mixon or don't run it with Mixon, but put Mixon in the game. Unbelievable. Sets up Aaron Donald to make the absolute play of his career, which when you go back and look on that 3rd and 1 that we just watched again, he just pulls Perine back from the first down marker.
He knew when he had to strike. Like
just
when he had to make the biggest play.
Just unbelievable. And but on 4th and 1, he hurries Burrow, spins him around, who hucks it incomplete. And the Los Angeles Rams, and Matthew Stafford, after 12 years of turmoil in Detroit, and Cooper Kupp, a 0-star recruit out of Yakima, and a 3rd-round pick out of Eastern Washington, and OBJ, our guy, after years of injuries and chaos and smoking joints in Paris with a supermodel and having to only be thrown to by Eli Manning and Baker Mayfield for 7 years. Oh my God. Yeah, the boat picture and all of that drama, everything, him getting blamed for all of these problems. He finally comes back, and yes, it was sad that he got hurt, but he gets his ring, and he had a big part in it for the time that he did play. Huge part. Yeah. After just all of that, and Jalen Ramsey, the best corner in the league for a while now, even though, yes, he got burned on consensus, best corner in the league for going on years. For Andrew Whitworth, 44 years old, the oldest player in the league.
Just hanging in for one more season, trying to get it done.
He knew it was his last game, playing against his former team of 11 years. And most importantly, for Aaron Donald, who's won the 2014 Rookie of the Year, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, made first-team All-Pro 7 times, 8-time Pro Bowler. Everything that you want. Should have been MVP. Keaton and I had money on that. We would have been a nice payout, but whatever. The best player that we've ever watched on the defensive side of the ball, and who now with that ring has to be put on the Mount Rushmore of defensive players all time.
Especially because he's a tackle.
Unbelievable.
Getting double teamed most of his career in the trenches, not getting around the edge. Unreal career.
Been consensus the best at his position for 7 years. I don't know how many defensive players you could say that for that all time. I know we haven't watched all of them, but I think it's consensus that if you have a Mount Rushmore of LT, Reggie White, whoever you want to say, he's got to be on it. He's got to be on it. Just absolutely dominant. So it was kind of a feeling that we got at the end, like, you know, we were kind of riding this Bengals for a while. We've loved watching them every week. It's been super fun. But they're going to be here for a while. The Rams felt like they had a lot of guys that it was just nice. It was fun to see them celebrate.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I was happy with the outcome. I just wanted to see a good game.
And it was a great game. A great game, cap off a great playoffs. And a great season.
There was good defense in it, too. Like, it wasn't just a score fest, but it wasn't slow. So
yeah, there were interceptions.
3-and-outs.
There were fourth downs. Yep. It was, what are you doing here? It was, holy crap, what a play there.
You saw what each team's holes were. And why they either won or lost. Like,
it's probably like deflating to the teams. I mean, if you were to go back, because, you know, I mean, the Rams didn't play great. They didn't play great. Their defense, they were giving up. Their defense really won them the game at the end of it. But there's probably teams like the Packers, especially. I mean, even I know all the teams are. But like watching this game and how, especially we noticed that hour and a half, it was kind of a lot of sloppy ball, a lot of 3-and-outs, a couple penalties, a couple drop balls. There's a few teams that are probably like, man, if you had a power rank all these teams right now that were in the playoffs, are the Rams number one? Because if you would have had the Bills in there yesterday, I would have probably thought the Bills would have won that game.
Yeah.
I still kind of think, even though the Chiefs lost to the Bengals, that Bills-Chiefs game was kind of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because that was just an all-time... The collapse of the Chiefs in the second half of that championship game is going to get overlooked and they blew the largest championship game lead of all time, and Mahomes just looked, I don't know if he was got hurt, or there is a play, you can kind of make the argument, maybe he was a little concussed in that second half.
He's gotten banged up a lot before, too.
Yeah, and so I don't know what that was, but like I know so many teams could have beaten that Bengals team yesterday. They didn't really look like a team. I mean,
we could have beat them.
Honestly, I mean, the Raiders, you can argue if maybe for not a nefarious call or Derek Carr not spiking the ball on first down, first and goal with 30 seconds, they so easily, and I know you can say that for so many teams if one player or whatever, but really in each of the games, there was many moments where the Bengals looked like, okay, they're the fun team that needs a little bit of a bring back to reality, get that playoff experience or whatever, mature. It was pretty wild to see these young guys already on this big stage. Yeah. And you could kind of see it a bit show up, and you saw it on both sides, but the Rams hold on. And I guess, you know, I kind of wanted to ask you about this because we talked about it last week with the Chargers' philosophy of not overspending or trading draft picks for these short-term rentals or stuff like that. Do you still feel like that? Because
like Tom Telesco should stop being afraid to make moves?
Yes. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, the Rams, they go all in and they win, right? So it looks like that's, all right, this is how you should build a team. You should go all in. But if one of these games don't go their way...
Yeah, it's yes and no.
It's yes or no, but they could have so easily just cratered because they're on such... Now they don't have these picks, and now maybe maybe this is his last year.
They don't really have cap space.
And no cap space because you got all this money poured into 5-6 players, and like it could really easily get... It would be hilarious because there's all these rumors about Sean McVay maybe wanting the Monday Night Football job, and is he going to retire? And he's kind of shut him down. But... Yeah, I don't know.
Really young.
Yeah, I know. It was some pretty like hot buzz, I guess, around it. But how hilarious would it be if he like won them the Super Bowl and then retired and said, "All right, You don't have picks for 4 years, and you have no cap space.
Yeah.
Good luck with
seriously.
that. I'm gonna go broadcast. That would be pretty funny, but I just think it's an interesting
There's a balance.
paradigm. Yeah, it's a good balance that I think.
You got to build your team over time with draft picks. And like you have to have good rookies on your team, but you also mid-season do need to fill holes.
Right.
And if there's a big guy available, you have to make a trade, like some team that's willing to trade him, or some like free agent who was just cut or something. You have to pounce on that, and you have to sign free agents and trade for people.
Mm-hmm.
That 4th-round pick that Tom Telesco wants to hold on to, when it's some random linebacker or receiver that isn't going to pan out and is still on the practice squad, it doesn't matter. You can trade that pick and you can put it towards something that's big and fills a huge hole.
Yeah.
You have to find a balance. And
No, I think the best case is what you guys have the potential to do. Have 3 or 4 guys super young who then you can go and throw around picks and money to surround those guys for a couple years, because it does just take the one time that it works, and it makes it completely worth it. So shout out to the Rams. Shout out to the Bengals. What a great game. I said it before.
Yeah.
Shout out to Al. Might be his last Super Bowl that we get to see out of him.
Yeah.
I have our prop bets up again. I kind of wanted to look at them. Wait a sec. Do you know what T. Higgins finished with yards wise? We were just saying you hit your Odell one. I'm pumped for that. I thought we were gonna just go 0 for 10, just all like, and that was the first one you felt strong about. Yeah. And if you would have played the rest of the game, you might have gotten a second touchdown, and that one was plus 850 for OBJ to score 2 touchdowns. You could have possibly just absolutely cleaned up.
Yeah.
What was I just asking here?
Higgins finished with over 100.
He had 100 even. Damn, I had T. Higgins over 110 yards at plus 360. But I did have. Oh, I didn't do that either. Remember, I liked the 4th quarter comeback. I didn't end up choosing that one. Yeah. I missed out on overtime. I missed out on red Gatorade. I missed out on Higbee and Mixon to score, considering Higbee didn't even play.
Yeah.
And Mixon didn't score. Definitely missed on Mixon's 150-plus yards and 2 touchdowns. And missed on Cooper Kupp first TD and Jamar second at 45-1. So I lost $1,000 to that. Good thing my real life, I said that Keaton and I hit the team bet. We also had Odell.
Yeah, you guys did good.
Yeah, we did all right. We did all right. He had $100 on the Bengals, so that kind of hurts. But we did have Odell to score and the Rams to win, and I think plus 220. That was sweet. We had the over 5 sacks. We had T. Higgins to have the most receiving yards at plus 425 or something like that. That was pretty. That was the one that was dope. We had Odell to score and T. Higgins to score.
Yeah,
that hit. Not a bad day. Not a bad day. We did throw down $10 on Snoop Dogg to smoke a joint in the middle of the halftime show.
I think he was doing it before.
Of course. And how stupid were we to think that he would be on the goddamn stage?
You can't do that like the network just wouldn't allow it, I think.
Well,
I think it's like an NBC thing.
True, probably, but like also just like it's a performance, and there's like so everyone's vibing. Like it's not really a smoking, even though every environment is a smoking environment for Snoop, but so I did not hit very much on those. You had $100 on the Rams to win 29-24. Missed a little bit, but good long shot. $200 on Cooper Kupp and Jamar first and second touchdown. Miss on that. $100 on Mixon over 60.5 rushing yards, which did hit.
Yeah.
Minus 114, but still hit. $100 on Blue Gatorade.
Yep.
Which Mason did hit.
Yep.
That's a nice one. Plus 450.
I had a feeling.
And then $200 on Odell for the first touchdown. 8-1, just clean. First drive field goal, didn't get that one, but you definitely still came out. We can do the math here, but probably up $500-$600.
Hey, should have done it.
So good for you. Good for you. I struck out completely. Okay, so let's remove ourselves from that. A fun season.
Season's over. That's it.
But an even more, I think, we're in store off season. Also, I'm rocking the Stewie Prince socks today. Shout out to Brian. I thought it'd be kind of fun to go through the standings here and just look at one thing, rapid fire, for each team that we either are excited for or that we want them to do, or a headline or something like that. just because I'm telling y'all, and we're going to get into it next week or maybe the week after, diving into the quarterback situation a little more. This is going to be a rambunctious offseason. I can guarantee us that. So, do you want to start AFC or NFC?
Top of my screen shows AFC.
Okay, so let's hit the AFC East then. We'll just start with the division winner, Buffalo Bills.
Another wide receiver. Defense is pretty good. I mean, I'd really have to...
You're going to say that after the 200-yard, 4-touchdown performance out of Gabriel Davis?
Yes, I probably will. Yeah. I feel like another receiver to just help out. Or running back. Actually, no.
That's what I was going to say.
Running back.
Give me a first-round running back. Give me a stud running back.
Like a Christian McCaffrey on that team where he can dump it off. Or, could you imagine?
That would be
Maybe
nice.
you go for Christian McCaffrey? I've heard
they are looking to dump him.
Rumors.
That's the type of all-in move that I like when you're a team just on the brink.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a great call.
Yeah.
I would like a running back as well. Maybe, obviously shoring up a defensive line would be nice.
Yeah.
New England Patriots.
Oof.
Give me Mac. If we're talking receivers, we're talking weapons.
Yeah.
I like your defense. Bill always finds a way to shore up the defense, and you've got an offensive line, and we even like their running backs. Let's get them a couple pass-catching targets so we can open up the playbook a little bit.
Harry isn't quite cutting it, yeah.
No. And you got Aguilar, and Jacoby Myers is fine. These are all guys who look a lot better, though, as 2, 3, and 4s, not 1, 2, and 3s.
Yep.
Miami Dolphins. This is hard to keep to one.
Oof, okay. Protect Tua, build the O-line, make sure Tua stays healthy.
True. I think you got to figure out if Tua's playing.
Tua?
Do we want?
Question
are
mark?
we? Are we bringing Tua back? Are we trading for Deshaun?
Get Deshaun.
Are we making the owner sell the team? Florio was saying before the Super Bowl yesterday that the NFL is, quote, very concerned that there is proof that Stephen Ross was offering $100,000 a loss to Brian Flores in 2019, I think it was.
I don't doubt it.
If that is true, he's got to be gone. You have to force him to sell that team. So I think that's first and foremost, but that's a whole lawsuit thing. So I don't know if that's going to take months or so to prove. But in the meantime, we got to figure out. I was just reading here because I was trying to think of trying to remember the exact reason. Wow, Jay just texted saying, okay, Josh Hart's nice. Of course he's nice, Jay. God, you guys are, Portland's a disaster. I was trying to read why Brian Flores got fired. Do you know why he got fired?
Not necessarily.
What they said the reason was?
What was it?
Apparently, an F-bomb meltdown at Tua led to the coach's shock firing. This is from Fox Sports. It says, a day after the Dolphins fired their former head coach in Flores, a new report said he had an F-bomb-filled meltdown with the quarterback at one point this season, according to the South Florida Sun-Sentinel. During halftime of a Week 16 loss to the Titans that crushed the Dolphins' playoff hopes, Tagovailoa, nailed that, claimed that Flores doesn't know how to talk to people. Flores, meanwhile, reportedly said back he needed better effing play from the quarterback. The exchange was apparently one of a few spats between the coach and quarterback, as noted in the article, which claimed Flores was fired for, quote, communication and collaboration. So I guess it says this, because, back-to-back winning seasons, I believe the most wins for someone who was ever fired just after 2 seasons. Stephen Ross, again, said that he didn't see Flores as a, quote, healthy fit in Miami. That same day, ESPN reported the Dolphins made the coaching move because Flores' relationships with general manager Chris Greer and Tagovailoa, nailed it again, had, quote, deteriorated to a pretty bad place.
Okay.
So that sounds like they want to stick with Tua, I guess, if they're taking kind of Tua's side. But I also remember Brian Flores, I think, saying months ago that he didn't want Deshaun because he didn't want to bring someone with that kind of baggage, I guess, into the building. I don't know. It sounds like he's a pretty fiery guy, like Belichick, a lot of no-nonsense guy. But he also sounds like he gets players to play pretty damn hard, considering he had a team that went 1-7, almost make the playoffs. Usually if you start 1-7, how often is a team just going to jaguar it up and just give up, really, the rest of the season?
Yeah.
So I say that because I don't know what they're going to do with quarterback with Deshaun, and this turned into a lot longer than a minute on the Dolphins. But you got to go in for one of these quarterbacks. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and I'd like Tua.
Yeah, but
again, this is a roster we like, defense we like,
backup.
Corners we like, receivers we like. Be nice to get a running back in there that's better, but you get a elite quarterback, which now is apparently available. in
Things
Miami,
change.
where
Yeah.
someone probably wants to live.
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. Go to Miami.
Why haven't we heard Miami for the Rodgers sweepstakes? Maybe we will pretty soon.
Tom Brady went to Florida. Go down to
Mhm.
Florida, man. Miami's beautiful this time of year.
That
No
would be
more
beautiful.
cold Green Bay, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, the Dolphins are going to be a team that we'll be talking about a lot then. We can tell. Okay.
Probably.
Jets. Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
signed. Who's their head coach?
Robert Saleh.
Oh, right. I was thinking of the Giants.
Their
Yeah.
defense really isn't that bad.
No, their defense played fine. I guess it's kind of weapons.
O-line, weapons, running
Surround
back.
yourself with whatever the hell his name is.
Zach Wilson.
Surround Zach with talent for you to properly evaluate him.
Make sure your O-line is healthy.
Please.
Healthy
Let's
and
continue
strong.
that. Let's continue that.
Best thing you can do for
They
a
had a
young
good one with
quarterback.
Mekhi Becton. He might have got hurt. I can't really
Yeah.
remember. But,
Yeah, they were fine.
But
They were fine. And
yeah,
that
let's
Elijah
shore
Vera
that up.
Tucker.
oh yeah, great, really good.
Get another one though.
yeah.
Go grab a tackle.
No, for sure.
you
Keep
know?
doing it because I don't know how I feel about Zach really yet.
I don't like him. I don't care
Okay.
for him. He's a 1-year BYU starter. He made some circus throws that look good, but he's also playing at BYU. So
True.
we'll see.
Really young.
We'll
though.
see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But again, you got to give him. If you don't give him the sport, this is just Darnold 2.0.
Exactly.
Okay, let's go to the north. Bengals, very obvious. We love you guys, but let's please just
Right tackle.
draft. If they have 10 picks, 10 offensive linemen.
That'd be perfect.
just
yeah.
go heavy on offensive line.
Don't
Maybe a
need
little
single
secondary.
receiver.
Yeah, maybe a little D line.
Tight end, maybe.
Tight end wouldn't be horrible if there's a free remove available in the second round, but let's really focus on that offensive line. Pittsburgh Steelers.
QB.
Got to figure out what we're
They're
doing.
ready. They're ready to go.
They're another great example of, yes, a roster, and we're going to get to Denver in a bit too, of a roster ready to go, and
Yeah.
now there's quarterbacks there to take. I know the conservative approach by the Steelers is to build from within and maybe draft a guy in the first round this year. Maybe draft a guy and still trade for one of these Aaron Rodgers
Maybe a
types.
cheap Carson Wentz for a
Like,
year?
what
See
if
it
you
works.
what if you could still draft Kenny Pickett or this Malik Wills or something that they love now, and
Yeah.
still trade the next 2 first-round picks and Devin Bush and a third-round pick for Aaron Rodgers, and you get to sit one of these guys because we all don't necessarily love this quarterback class. So maybe you can.
I haven't heard anything about him.
Exactly, and I'm sure over the next couple months we'll hear a lot of hype. We'll see a lot of combine throws that we like, and all of a sudden we'll be able to talk ourselves in. But there's so many guys that actually going in the later first round or second round actually puts you in a better situation than with a team like the Jaguars that Trevor got thrown into, where you're trying to have to save the franchise from the brink of collapse. So go after one of these quarterbacks is the gist of it with the Steelers. Let's get A-Rod there. That would be the most fun. Browns. Cleveland Browns.
Oof.
I guess figure out Baker.
Figure out Baker.
Probably tag him, so that probably gets solved pretty quickly, and he'll probably be okay with that because he'll make $30 million and I guess try to prove.
I guess receiver. Well, you got Landry now.
Yeah, Donovan Peoples-Jones is all right. He's all right.
Yeah, receiver. I guess
Yeah,
their running
receiver
backs are
and
good, their
defense because we
defense
like
is
their running
okay.
back and offensive line a lot.
Yeah.
Baltimore.
I don't know how this is actually and I might have to pick something else, but just trying to stay healthy. I don't know how exactly you do that, but they were just devastated by injuries.
Weapons.
Weapons.
I would still. I don't like. I like Rashad Bateman, but I would like. Again, would like him as a 2 if there is a solid number 1 for them to either draft. AB wants to go there, although I don't think that happens.
No,
But
no.
it will be interesting to see how their defense, now that Wink Martindale or Martingale or whatever his name is gone after a long time. It'll be fun to see how they rebuild that. But yeah, if they stay healthy, they're right there in there too.
Yeah.
Also, let's extend Lamar. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
AFC South, Tennessee Titans.
Quarterback.
We can like that, but I've already read they're just going to run. They're riding Tannehill.
Oh, they really are, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
They're kind of the same thing. They have a good defense. I guess maybe
it's
draft
like a Garoppolo situation.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Really, I think for them, there's not much to do, especially in that division, other than just, shore up what you can
Stay
and
healthy.
hope Derrick Henry stays healthy. If he stays healthy, you're winning that division.
Just shore up your defense, because sometimes it's liable. So
Right? Yeah. Let's draft a corner.
Sure.
Indianapolis.
They're kind of a quarterback.
Figure out what
team
you're doing
as
with
well.
Wentz.
I'll be willing to bet they trade him.
Yeah, I read this morning that because now that's been the hot thing, but now they don't know what his value is going to be with him still being owed like $30 million this next year or something like that, or $34 million or something.
Yeah, that's true.
But it doesn't sound like they love him. So if we're
No.
already hearing right now that they don't love him, I'd be shocked if he's their week 1 quarterback.
That's my train of thought as well.
Houston Texans. I say just get as much as you can for Deshaun. That's the one focus.
Actually, yeah, that's really good.
Just
yeah.
sift out because they hired Lovie Smith, who's I don't love him, but he's at least a culture builder. That if you can get some picks, haul in some players, maybe you start to build
2 or 3 years.
Right, exactly. You could build a much better roster that still without a quarterback is going to leave you with a top 10, top 5 pick next year, which then you can maybe go attack your young quarterback.
Yep, just start building for the future. You've been in you're a rebuild team.
And it's kind of the same thing with Jacksonville. We love the Doug Peterson hiring, and we love Lawrence.
Oh yeah.
ETN will be back. I don't even mind their receivers, but let's just draft for them. Just all throughout the draft, either just
offensive and defensive line is always a good place to start.
For sure. Good, great. Yeah, for sure. Don't throw your money into these long-term contracts. I know it's much easier to do that in football because there's all these ways to get out of contracts easier, unlike the basketball when they're just fully guaranteed, or baseball when they're $800 million. But let's just get some talent. Get some talent for Trevor. The AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs. I can't really think of something specific for them to do.
Corner for me.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Just get a really good corner because your defense lets you down a lot. Your front seven's pretty good. I like your D-line. Linebackers are okay. Maybe a speedy linebacker would be good. But I'd say a true lockdown corner would be very nice for them because they get burnt and they're not very disciplined.
Yeah, that's a good point. And maybe a second receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, McColl's fine.
You need a fast guy, essentially. But maybe if you had some big-bodied, 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah,
dude,
what they hoped Josh Gordon could maybe be when they signed him. Oakland Raiders. Sounds like they're running with Derek Carr. I kind of think secondary for them, too. Because we like their front.
Oh, yeah.
We like their front. We like their linebackers.
Yeah.
A number one weapon. True, O-line, since they just traded all of it last year for some reason.
You want protection at the end of the day.
Yeah, and he got pressured a lot. Yeah. But you got to also get him another weapon to throw to. I guess they kind of got a lot to do. That might be a good bet because there's always on average 4 teams that made the playoffs that don't make it the next year. They're a good bet for that now that Ruggs is doing 20 to life.
They hired McDaniels, though, so that's
a good.
That's a good. I guess we're yet to see if it's actually a good hire, if he's a good coach. But I'm scared. I don't want him.
So that being said, what about you guys?
Oh, D-line. Draft the biggest tackle you possibly can, or go out and sign a premier edge rusher. That's number one. Free agency, put so much of that $77 million towards D-line and linebackers, and then draft who you think is the best stud first round right tackle. And we're good.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have...
You don't like Storm?
No. We have Matt Filer and Ode Ibushi as the guards. Both fantastic.
Say that again?
Ode Ibushi.
Okay.
Yeah. Came from Detroit. Really good, though. Our season kind of fell apart, at least on the O-line when he went down. He's our right guard. So you got Slater, Filer, Lindsley, Ibushi, and some big, mean right tackle. I would feel so good about that, and if we can stay healthy, that's great. So the biggest thing I want to see, though, is the D-line.
Get Joey some help.
He needs help. He can't do it by himself, and our corners will look so much better for it. Mike Davis might actually look good.
Denver Broncos, again, like
QB.
the Steelers, you got the roster, you got the D-line, you got the secondary, you got the receivers, you even have most of the O-line, and you have your running back now. Get a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
For our group chat's sake, too. Avery would be unbearable. Okay. Not bad. This is going to be a hell of an offseason. I like going through this, dude. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Dallas Cowboys. NFC East. What do I want from the Cowboys? A safety in the draft. That's what I want.
Yeah,
more than anything. Another corner would be nice. Keep showing up the defense. They threw their draft into the defense last year, all but 3 picks, and it was better this year, but they led the league in turnovers, and that's such a fluky stat year to year.
That's
they were
Dolphins
still
last year.
Exactly.
So.
And they were 16th in rush and 16th in pass. So let's keep showing that up because we have the offensive guys, whether we like them or not, that are there.
We need some O-line depth, I'd say.
Zeke,
just a little.
Do you want to guess what Zeke's cap hit is?
No, tell me.
Guess.
15.
18.
18.
18
That's horrible.
for the second best running back on the team. That really hurts.
How much longer till he's a free agent?
I think we have him for this year and the next, possibly the
So
one after
sign
that.
through 20, maybe 24.
Until he's
Sign
31, whenever that is. I know. Which, honestly, I don't mind durability-wise because he's literally never missed a
He's
game due to
tank.
injury.
He's a big
Although
dude.
he had a... Let's not get into it. He had a torn PCL. Why did we play him the whole rest of the game when we had the division wrapped up in week 9? But that's another story.
And
Philadelphia
Pollard's
Eagles.
looking good.
They're kind of all over the place.
It's really
I
hard
think
to
they're
pick
running
one.
with Jalen. I think that's the assumption, unless something crazy comes up.
At
They
least
do
for
have
this
3
next season.
first-round picks, and I think they have 2 in the top 10.
Just
So if
build
you're
your defense up. Build your defense up.
Yeah,
Maybe
I guess
another O-lineman,
Just
though.
go best. I guess just go best player.
At least for 2 of those first-round picks, go very best player available, and then that third first-round pick you get, position of need.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're in a good position, though. That sucks.
Washington Commanders.
The Washington Commanders.
Find a way to make that name sound racist so we can switch it again, because I do not like
I
that
don't
name.
mind it.
I wanted the Red Tails.
It's corny, but not my team.
Kind of QB away too.
You have a lot to figure out if you're that team. I don't know. Their defense
But
is...
we like McLaurin. We like Gibson. O-line's not horrible. We like Chase Young.
Yeah,
I
I guess
forgot-
just figure out if you really want Heineke to be the dude for you.
No, you definitely don't want that. But, I mean, you might have to ride it for a year or so.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a Carson Wentz destination. Who knows? New York Giants.
Are they riding with Daniel Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
They brought in Brian Dable. So if there's anybody that's going to get the best out of him, it's going to be him.
Okay.
Sterling Shepard.
Defense
Is that their number 1, Sterling Shepard? No, it's not. Didn't they draft somebody? Kadarius Toney is unreal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Unreal. He
Okay.
might pop next year.
So they're fine on offense. Let's say Saquon has a bounce back year,
Yeah.
which is up in the air.
Stay healthy, please.
Yeah. Just trade the Chargers. What's his fucking name on the D line? No,
Leonard
but
Williams.
actually probably just bolster up your secondary if you can.
Yeah.
Really good safety would probably be good for you. I don't really know their team very well.
Me neither. They're, I think, kind of a lot away. NFC North Green Bay Packers. Do whatever it takes to keep Aaron.
Give him part ownership of the team.
Dude,
Let him
make
be
him
like
the
the
GM.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Do whatever you
yeah.
want. Do whatever, which includes extending Devontae. That should have been taken care of before this season even started.
Yeah, you
But
have to.
if they franchise tag him, that's going to piss Aaron off, I think, a lot. And
So,
they're
is
already
Aaron
in such
a
a bad
contract year.
He's in a contract year, but they did this whole thing about at the beginning of the year about they would evaluate it at the end of the year. It kind of seemed like a handshake agreement, although everything I'm reading is that they want to extend him, make him the highest paid quarterback. But they said that at the beginning of the last offseason and at the beginning of the training camp, and that's not the reason that he wants to. I personally think he saw Tom do what Tom did and wants to do that. Kind of just wants a change of scenery. He's been there for 15 years. He saw what Stafford has done now. I think he just wants to go to a team that's ready-made for him. Even though he has a good team in it, you can make the case like, hey, man, you've been in 3 NFC championships lately, and you've been the back-to-back MVP. Your guys' defenses look better and better each year, and you have Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams, and so I really think it's just a preference. Like, hey, like he seems very, this is like a hot take, but like kind of down to earth for how much of an ego he has, in the sense of I think he just wants to do something different, is what I think.
I don't blame him. It's fucking cold there, dude.
Yeah.
Every winter,
50,000 people.
He's losing in the NFC Championship. I'm sure he bolts out sometimes, but he's just in Wisconsin freezing his ass off. His truck's cold in the morning when he goes to start it. He's not in the Super Bowl.
What do you think he drives?
Probably fucking drives like an F-150 or
That's
something.
what I was thinking. Or Duramax. All right, Minnesota Vikings. Packers.
Defense.
Lots of drama. Minnesota Vikings.
Defense.
Yeah.
You're keeping Kirk. whatever. I don't care. You have really good receivers, though. You have
Yeah.
a really good running back. Your
Mhm.
O-line's okay. Fix your O-line, too, if you want. Make it better. But just make your defense even better, you know?
Chicago Bears. I agree. Shore up the defense.
Chicago Bears receive where to start. Receiver, even though they have Allen Robinson, which on paper, like I think you said in a different lifetime or career, is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Their defense is actually pretty good, so I'd probably have to say receivers.
Their defense is good, and Matt Eberflus,
Yeah.
former Cowboys defensive assistant, who then turned Indianapolis coordinator, is a good coach and
yeah, I like that.
a good defensive bring in.
And
So
you
yeah,
got
I
a
would say
new GM, new
I would yeah
culture.
find I don't know who the coordinator is that he's bringing in, but let's get Josh a couple more weapons. Josh?
Justin Fields.
Justin.
Oh,
Jesus.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get Fields a couple more
Yeah.
weapons here
They need to
because
fix
he's
the
big
O-line.
time. He is big time.
You got to give him some protection.
Yes. Yes.
Rushed.
Yes.
He's
Now
rushed.
that I remember those games, running for his life,
Yeah.
for his life,
Fix the O-line.
for sure.
Literally draft 5 new offensive linemen.
For sure.
And let them battle in camp and pick your best ones. Sign them. I don't care.
100%. Detroit Lions.
Oh God. I honestly they have like a really cool culture, and the players really like playing for Dan Campbell. Jared Goff isn't the answer though, but I don't know if you're gonna find your answer this year. So maybe ride with him. Don't tank, but also you're gonna need
Kinda
more
tank.
good picks.
Yeah.
You know, so do you just
draft
keep losing?
I don't know. I think they can have a good draft and draft good talent and still have a bad season with Goff.
probably
So
like
you're
a
kind of
6-7 win team next year.
Yeah, it kind of seems you're stuck with Goff until you can find yourself at the top of the draft, which they are now, but at the top of a draft that has a Josh Allen in it. So Tampa Bay Bucks.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
Everything else is gonna fall apart quickly, I'd imagine. Like they might get a quarterback or something, or draft someone, or they have some placeholder, but I feel like the defense could really start falling apart, and the wheels could really fall off of this quickly.
Yeah, the like in terms of just what'll be most interesting is to see how they supplant Tom. The Saints.
Figure out what you're doing as well if you want to give Jameis.
We're realizing going through
lot
this,
of
which we had
quarterback
mentioned
talent.
earlier, there's so many teams who not only don't know who their quarterback is, but so many teams who have a very good roster and who are only one quarterback away from being right in the top of the contenders list in their respective conference. So I would agree. Figure out your Taysom Jameis deal, which is not a winning deal. And other than that, you've got a good defense, got an elite running back. I think Michael Thomas is coming back. So if they fix that, that could be turned around real quickly.
Sucks.
And we're looking at a division now that Brady's gone is wide open.
Oh, it is wide open, yeah.
Atlanta Falcons.
Replace Matt Ryan. But you kind of just need to start rebuilding.
Yeah, they looked better at the end of the year.
Yeah.
They weren't as
but what do
sorry
you
as they
do?
were at the
What do you
beginning.
do?
If you're gonna ride Matt, then you gotta ram it up and you gotta go all in and
You
try to.
gotta,
Yeah. If you're not tearing it down, then you gotta try to patch the holes.
And it's
I
about
guess.
to get torn down quickly, so might as well.
I mean,
half
I
of
would have
that,
done
you
it
know?
last year. I was preaching for them to draft Justin Fields at 4. I was preaching. I wanted that so bad,
Yeah.
but they didn't, and they decided to ride with Matt. And it's hard to imagine they thought they were in win now, like ready to win a Super Bowl this exact year, even though everybody thinks they are in the draft and up until week 1. But it's just that if you're gonna roll with Matt, then throw all your money and picks at it, and then if you're not, go from there. Carolina Panthers. Quarterback. Like, come on, let's go. Let's throw it all in.
Trade for Deshaun.
Yes, I like some of their defensive players. They've got Stephon Gilmore, who
their
they should
coach.
extend. Brian Burns, yes. They'll get Luke Kuechly to come back if they're on a Super Bowl run, I bet. Let's throw the picks. And apparently Matt Rule's, even though it said he was brought back, he's on the hot seat. I know he needs to save his job. So let's go get the quarterback, man. I love Darnold, but he ain't it. He ain't it. Might be a theme of the week. Rams.
Start looking to replace the massive hole that Aaron Donald is gonna leave.
Because we think he retires.
I think he'll retire.
I think he comes back.
Okay. I think he's gonna retire, so that's why I'm gonna say.
But
you need to
regardless,
start
defensive line.
planning. Yeah, you need to
Regardless.
start planning.
Because I don't know what Vaughn. I don't know. I'd say Vaughn maybe going to retire too, but he looked so good. Maybe they both hang out,
Run it back one
go on
more year.
vacation, and say, "Hey, let's go try to
Okay,
defend
you
it."
know what? Yeah, I'm still gonna. I'll double down on it. Still draft those guys and let them learn from two of the greatest defensive linemen of this generation.
True.
Just
Let's sign a
keep
second corner though,
bolstering it up. Yeah, another corner, another linebacker.
and
build
Eric
that
Weddle will be
front
gone.
seven.
Let's get a
Yeah,
safety to take
yeah.
what Lamarcus
I
Joyner
guess just
left.
go defense. Might
Yeah.
as well. Your
Yeah.
offense is fine.
Right. Especially if they bring Odell back. Arizona Cardinals. Talk about a story over the last 4 or 5 days.
Another receiver.
Yeah.
Hop can't stay healthy, it seems. Andy Isabella. You got Christian Kirk. James Conner's actually pretty good.
Yeah, but now he's a free agent. So are you going to sign James Conner to 8 or 9 million, 10 million?
I'm not giving him.
I'm not giving him more than 5. Sorry, I'll draft a guy.
Okay, yeah. Just make your offense.
Maybe offensive line still.
Make your offense. Yeah, fix your offensive line, but
You got to figure out this
offense
Kyler
on-
stuff. That's what we should have started with. I don't know what the hell is happening.
He's fine. He's playing for them for sure.
Most likely, yeah, but this
He's
is
just
getting
one of those-
dramatic. You saw
Yeah,
his
he's
statement
It's
today.
just dramatic.
You saw the
Yeah,
reports
it's
this morning.
all
He's
drama though.
Exactly.
Why? Is it,
This next generation is not the one, dude.
hey.
We take things very personal.
Yeah, fucking. You know what? Why are you unfollowing the Cardinals on Instagram? Why are you on Instagram? Who fucking cares? Why are
He
you
deleted
going
all of his
through and-
pictures with
yeah,
them.
Fuck off, dude. That's so. I agree. I don't like it. You are in such a position here to where you could seriously. You're so talented, and if the team builds around you, there's such potential there. I think as the Cardinals, you have to build the
Yeah,
offense.
I don't
up to
know
be
where it's coming
explosive,
from.
like a Chiefs.
I
of
don't
the
know where
NFC,
it's coming
you
from.
know?
It makes no sense. It makes
No.
no sense.
It's-
They have a
it's
system
ridiculous.
built for him. They've catered it to him. I'm sure will throw into the offensive line, and they've built a defense. Isaiah Simmons is playing better. They have the best
Yeah,
safety
dude.
in the league. It's
Yeah.
all fine. And then all of a sudden, yeah, just out of nowhere, he deletes. You're like, oh, why the hell is he doing that? And then all of a sudden, you see the Cardinals came out and said that they feel that he's not a first in, last out guy, and that he's not being accountable, and that he's a finger pointer. For whatever beef that there was that made him want to delete those posts and unfollow them, knowing, of course, it's going to get traction online.
Yeah.
Now he sees that report. Oh, I'm sure it really pissed him off. Again, don't know why he's pissed. But then he has to put out this random statement, and it wasn't a statement saying these aren't true. I've talked with the GM and them, and we're all good, man. It was hey, no, my teammates know why I play. I play hard. I do all this, even though in the playoff game, I thought it was hilarious because Russell Wilson in the fourth quarter, there's almost no chance that the Cardinals are going to win. They're down 2.5 scores, we'll call it, and Russ is on the Eli Manning and Peyton broadcast and says, you know what, this is when I'm going up the sideline and I'm going up to each and every guy and I'm saying, hey, anything's possible. Anything's possible. We can anything.
Yeah.
And at the minute he's talking about that, it shows Kyler on the sideline just.
Yeah, he does look, and I've heard like reports like that, and he does kind of look a little.
He gets sulky. He gets sulky.
Yeah,
He gets sulky.
little-
He gets
yeah.
moody. And that's just in terms of personality trait. That's why I just love that personality trait of guys who have that almost delusional confidence. So we had already kind of thought that. And he's been banged up. Maybe they're a little worried. It's 2 years, 2 out of the 3. He's been banged up the second half of the season. And I don't know. That's going to be wild. I don't understand what the hell is happening with that. Are we going to get a leak from Schefter the day of the draft like we did last year that says Kyler's not going to sign his rookie extension? And we're like, holy shit, are the Cardinals? The Steelers. The Steelers got Kyler Murray. I don't know what's going to
He could
happen.
definitely be on the move in these next couple of years when.
And
if
okay,
things go rough.
and would you pay him $50 million a year?
Not right now. He's really good, really
They need
explosive.
to
but,
extend
like,
him by this next year.
He's not a top. How many quarterbacks can you name for sure that are better than him? He's not top 5.
We'll save this for our quarterback episode
Okay.
because this was supposed to be 30 minutes and we're already fucking running. But hey,
You know
man,
how
when we
it
get
goes. You know
going,
how
we
it
get
goes.
going.
You know how it goes.
So I don't know, but I think that's an interesting debate to have.
He's maybe
do
top
we want to
9,
pay?
top 8.
He's somewhere. Yeah. Which is good enough to win you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's good enough to win you a Super Bowl when you have pieces there already, and then you trade for that guy who takes up that cap space. Not when he's sucking them up, and I'm learning that the hard way these next couple of years. 49ers.
Quarterback.
Get what you can for Jimmy. And
They are a team that I feel are ready to go. Maybe it's Trey's
sure.
time though. Maybe they're like, hey, Trey,
I
we drafted you.
I think so.
We drafted you.
I think so.
Let's give it a
And
shot.
it sounds pretty amicable. I think I've already read that Jimmy G and the front office, like his team, they're gonna work together to find the trade spot. I think Indianapolis could be a good spot for
Why
him.
not? Yeah.
I think he could go to a lot of these teams. He could go to Pittsburgh and kind of
Win
just
'em
do for them.
10, 8
Yeah,
games.
as good as the roster is,
Yeah.
he'll be exactly what he's been with the Niners. Not horrible, but obviously not top tier. Not a guy who is in any type of position to make a lot of money or be relied on completely in any heavy situation. But yeah, trade time.
Trey can do what Jimmy can do,
For
and
sure.
he adds
And a lot more
lot
mobility.
more dimension. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
No, I have confidence in
Me
him.
too. Yeah, why not? We're not looking. We don't want a free agent. We have a second-year guy ready to go. He's been sitting. He's been waiting.
And also, you have to play Dre because you traded 3 first-round picks for him.
Absolutely.
Which, looking back, they should not have done.
Yeah, that was
So
ugly.
bad.
That's
So
ugly.
bad. Even if he's the best, don't do that. 7-10, Seattle Seahawks. What do they do? I guess Russ is coming back. I personally, again, I think Russ is kind of fake, and I think he's the worst interview in sports because he's Mr. Cliche, is what I'll call him now. And I love him. I've come around so much on him than I was saying that there were so many other quarterbacks that could have won that Super Bowl that he won with that team, including Alex Smith. Long debate in our group chat, but I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't think he wants to be there, but I don't think he wants to say it publicly because he doesn't want to ruin his reputation. So I guess if you're the Hawks, like the Packers, do whatever you can to keep him because he's elite, and I guess keep. I think Pete's staying, so
Ugh. Yeah, get rid of Pete. That's mine.
get rid of Pete.
Pete's gone. Pete's gone. He has to be gone. I don't care. I'll be wrong next season if they turn it around, but I do not trust his coaching ability anymore. I think he's just one of those dudes who's set in his ways. Oh, we'll turn it around. We're just gonna keep running the rock. Well, good teams run the rock. We'll get it. We just gotta keep going. I don't like it. They could have with DK, Tyler Lockett, and Russ, and like a good running back and a semi-decent offensive line. They could have such an explosive offense that would really shake up things in the NFC West. But no, it's run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
Yeah, they do need
Russ
they need a
needs
philosophical change more than
Russ
anything.
needs a explosive, build the team around him. He's got one of the best moon balls in the league, and you're never utilizing it unless Russ has to chuck up a prayer when you're down 3 scores. And oh my God, they came back, Russ Magic. Let's tap into that in the first quarter.
No, I agree.
That's my tangent.
Just call the words out of my mouth. All right, that was, dude. I'm telling.
That was good.
It gets me more excited. I'm always so depressed right after the Super Bowl, but I get so excited. So
Free
excited.
agency's fun.
Free agency's fun.
They can't disappoint you. You're not watching them every week.
And it's not only free agency, but now all these trades with quarterbacks that are going to be in the mix, and we'll be right there in the draft, and then it's playoff time for basketball, and then it's so much fun, so much fun. In terms of us and our coverage, I guess I kind of wanted to just spitball this with you for a second. So what are some things that you want to do that you think, because we were saying maybe we get a little political, midterms coming up this fall, but we should probably stay away from that. No one gives a fuck about our opinion. Not that they give a fuck about our sports opinion either, but I feel like we're a little more credible to talk about that stuff.
You're probably right there. Yeah, I think like we talked about, a couple of days of free agency, or if there's one huge day, do like a live reaction.
I really want to get into all this quarterback stuff. I think it would be fun just to pick like through our watching lives or whatever our favorite games and kind of just break down those. I'm starting to editing wise learn how to make better compilation videos or whatever where we can talk about stuff and I can have highlights going at the same time and make it a little better. And we can even watch it on here or watch it on the upper TV and just throw a camera up there and kind of talk while we're watching highlights through it and whatever.
Fucking Manning cast.
Kind of a Manning cast, dude. I'm
Kind of
telling
a
you, it's
Manning
the
cast.
future. And
Yeah, put up a camera and then we watch a game and just riff. Yeah,
there's
I like
some
that.
guy who's like, I invented the airplane 40 years before the Wright brothers. There's all these people who take credit for things once they're already out. I had been saying for years. Years is a little bit of an exaggeration. But ever since I saw Joe and them do his Fight Companions,
yeah,
that I think is like the future. Amazon Prime is going to buy Sunday Ticket when it's up after next year. And
yeah, they got Thursday nights now. So
they have Thursday nights, and no one expects DirecTV to be able to hang with, whether it be Hulu or Amazon, that's going to throw just all the bags at the NFL for Sunday Ticket.
Oh, fuck. That'd be great, actually, though.
Yeah.
Kind of, fuck DirecTV.
No, and there's already been like rumored about what Amazon would want it to look like and how they would maybe format it. And one of them is each game having multiple broadcasts.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You can have your player broadcast with Michael Irvin and Aqib Talib watching a game. And you can have your main broadcast too, because some people like that.
Yeah.
But if we're all being real, after the number one team on every channel, so the Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, the Al and Chris, and then like the Joe or Jim and Tony, other than maybe, I mean, Greg Olson's good. I like Greg Olson. Even Aqib and Gus Johnson were good or whatever. But other than those main guys, I personally would love, like the Monday Night Football guys, shout out, whatever, you guys are awesome. I much prefer Peyton and Eli.
And having team broadcasts too, like when you watch your basketball games, how you can do like
local ones,
yeah,
which they have them, but only if you live in the local area.
Exactly,
and that's annoying. Like on NBA League Pass, I can select the Lakers broadcast, so that's cool. But let's get like to where you and another Charger fan are like the best thing. I think best way to do it, I think, is to have a host. A Nathan Phillips or like a John Anik, obviously is the best case, with a former player, with an Aqib Talib, but not on a broadcast, in a studio, watching the game with you, and not like Peyton and Eli being in separate areas where they're cutting each other off and not knowing when to go to commercial break or whatever. No commercials. Let someone pay a little extra money to where they don't have to watch commercials, and it's just a 3-hour podcast, a live broadcast of these guys watching the game and telling stories.
Knowledge you would get in like the different perspectives.
I think it's so much fun.
Cool.
So we could just do some stuff like that, watching some games or whatever.
Watching Eli Manning Super Bowls.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun. And then
cool.
I don't know. We'll figure out where it's going.
Combine.
Maybe I'll get some other
after
ideas.
all 3 days of the combine, come back after. Hey,
do something live.
Do
something live during the first round of the draft.
Oh, for like a draft podcast.
Yeah, like just a watch along.
Yeah.
All 10 people can watch along the draft with us.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right then.
There's some good ideas.
Yeah.
You got something though, don't you? Something you weren't telling me about.
I was gonna say we could do a little relationship advice. We could do like a little life advice segment with our much wisdom. What's your secret? What's the secret? It's Valentine's Day. What's your secret to your and Jess? How long are you and Jess been together now?
And it'll be 3 years in
3
April.
Damn.
I think.
What's the secret?
Just being good at communication and talking, and just when something is up, just being honest and just talking.
You know who? I had this urge because of this other thing that happened that I guess I guess I didn't tell you this either. Oh, how do I go about this since I don't want to cut anything and still be diplomatic and not be super petty?
Just put in the right beeps or something, you know? Can you beep out
No.
like
It's pretty simple. So I for all I know, he could totally change. Now, did he steal washes from us for like 3 months last year? Yes.
Really?
Yeah, he did the classic. Signed up for the free monthly pass for the red. Came in one time. Upgraded to the gold. Kept the card. Dude, he would just come in and like get his red and just go down. And by the time the prep in, put the gold card up. So while he was paying for a red wash for months, was just getting gold washes. I'm actually coming back at the end of February. Oh, shit. Okay, well, can I buy you a drink? If you have a free hour? Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, I should ask that 10 months ago, but I guess better late than never, right? She said, yes, better late than never. So we're moving, all right?
There we go, man.
There's a couple other yes, we're taking the steps.
We're glad to hear that, man. I was sad about that. I was bummed about that for a while.
Yeah, I know. So I hope that none of this comes out.
Might have to keep this in the archives, man.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. No, this is the new you.
And I'm not trying to. I mean, life fucking rips, dude. Life rips.
Oh, kettlebells, man. Let me tell you what.
Creatine loading? Threatine. That's the key. Threatine.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but It's working day by day.
See, yeah, you're working in silence, though. You're not at the
In
gym.
silence.
You're not working at the gym, bulking up.
No,
You're in
is it
here
because
getting
I'm too
functionally strong?
Right. Is it because I'm too insecure to work out around other guys? Yes. But hey, however we get there, right?
Oh yeah, for
However we
sure.
get there.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
You gonna beat the
I
names?
just get a little bit, for sure, beat the names.
It's
About
a bull market.
Yeah, but
shit
let's just
like
say I go kind of the reverse way with him. So I hope I can keep it to that. And most importantly, I do hope the happiest. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Most importantly, I really hope we shore up our secondary.
I could have ended most of my.
I'm gonna be in trouble.
That's okay. That's okay.